name is Bobby Branham. I'm in Pam, Virginia, and we're in the coal fields. This is on reclaimed mine land, and I've been here since 1985. And I actually started in the cattle business when I was 14 years old. My papa gave me my first heifer, and I started from that one. And the only thing I've bought since then has been bulls. I've raised all my replacement females. I guess the really goal that I guess everybody has is make a profit and to raise good feeder calves. We sell VQA Cash through the Abilene Feeder Cattle Association, and they mainly go to the feedlots in the west or Pennsylvania. And our calving season will be in the spring, March and April. We've had some good buyers, repeat buyers from our calves. Abilene Feeder Cattle Association has got some of the, I guess, best calves in the state of Virginia, because the buyers, they keep coming back. My cows are Angus-based cows, and we're using a Simmental bull now to cross them up, get the crossbred calves, because they seem to do a little better, and the market likes them. And the bulls, I've got pretty good, pretty strenuous criteria for them when I go to buy a bull. They got to be at the top of the line, and got to have some weaning weights good, marbling. We started freeze branding in 2013, and we've freeze branded every heifer since then, and that's helped keep up with the cows, because they'll lose tags, and you can't really keep up with them. But some of them lose the tag, and the record keeping system that makes it better, because you can keep up with them. And we put the dame and the sire. We've got it in a book that each cow, I know what every cow is from, there's dame and the sire, and that helps to, when we get ready to keep replacement heifers, that makes it easier to pick them out. Okay, as far as culling cows, we'll cull on disposition probably first, and the calving, the time they're calving. If they don't calve on time, we usually try to get rid of them, and then the weight of the calves. At the end of the year, we'll see how they done compared to the rest of the cows, and we'll get rid of some of them, because we usually try to keep heifers back every year. So we gotta try to get rid of some. As far as replacement heifers, we usually try to keep some of our AIs, because we do AI some. We have been since I think '94, and we've AI'd every year a few cows, not all of them, but we do AI all of our heifers, and we'll try to keep some of them as replacements, and some of the first heifers calves that's born. That'll be I'll pick from them on my replacements. We usually wean in the last week in September, I think it is, to hit the 45-day minimum for the VQA sale in there in November, 1st of November. And we'll get them all up and separate the calves, and we'll fence line wean them, and until the cows they'll leave out, and then we start moving some calves out. I built a feed shed in 2012, and at a different location, and we'll move a lot of calves there where it's a little bit easier to feed, and it just makes it a little bit better. As far as any kind of price risk management. We'll buy feed this time of year in June and July. We usually get gluten and getting a trailer load, tractor and trailer loads. And the fertilizer, we usually get it. We have to pay for it in December to get, the cheaper price before it goes up in the spring. As far as the marketing system, we sell VQA Cash through the Abingdon Feeder Cattle Association. We have sold since 2001. I think we sold the first calves, and we were only getting like 5 cents or somewhere around there, over what regular feeder calves were bringing. And then in 2004, we hit the big thing. We got 19 cents more than anything that was in the barn that night, and that sort of really made the Abingdon Feeder Cattle VQA take off, I believe. Now, the vaccination program on these cows, we use a modified live. In probably the last week in April, we'll vaccinate, because we turn the bulls out about the end of May, somewhere around the 20th or to the end of the month to get the calving in 1st of March. And then in September, October, we'll give them another lepto, and in December we'll get pour on for lice, and the cows, that's about what they get. Other than some of the young cows and some of the thin cows, we'll get a wormer. Other than that, the cows don't get no wormer. And the calves, when we get them up in April, we'll castrate all the calves, all the bull calves, and implant them, and they all get the nasal Enforce 3, and we don't worm nothing until July. We worm the calves and revaccinate again in July, the end of July. So I guess that's about, and we do use the long range wormer on the calves. They seem to do pretty good because it's a time release thing. And in 2009, the Lonesome Pine Soil and Water partnered up with, I guess we applied for it and got the grant for the watering system, and we put in 4 troughs, watering trough. We use the big equipment tires as the trough, and it's spring fed. There's about a mile of line that we put in. Of course, we had to had some ponds. We had to fence them off and some watering ways, and that's sure helped on getting the cattle to graze some of these places that there wasn't any water. We usually get a vet to come and do our bulls, the breeding soundness exam on the bulls, in March, and then we'll get a different vet most of the time to come and do ultrasound on our heifers, to pregnancy check them before the VQA sale there in August. As far as forage, we usually turn out in about the middle of April, most of the time after we work our cows, and we don't usually start feeding until after Christmas. And then our hay, we'll cut about 350 rolls of hay a year, or somewhere around there. And we try to keep all, the pH and the fertility up on the hay according to the soil samples. We do take soil samples regularly, and we have pretty good hay. And the cows, that's about what they get is hay. They don't get no feed, other than some of the younger ones. And that's about it on the forage. The biggest challenge that I have here is probably the autumn olives, the invasives, and the water probably is. We have to have a lot of moisture. If it don't rain much, we're hurting. here till about 2 weeks ago or so. It didn't look like this. It was pretty dry here. It burned up, and it's looking pretty good now. I mean, that's probably the autumnology is the biggest challenge that we face here. You just got to stay after it.
What about the industry as a whole?
As far as the industry as a whole, I guess profit is the biggest thing. You know, I mean, if you want to put it in one word, that's the biggest thing that the industry. That's the way I see it. Without mining, strip mining, I wouldn't be here. They've done a tremendous job on reclaiming this and putting it back into pasture land. And extension, a lot of the practices, well, I don't say practices, but the forage recommendations was from Extension and Virginia Tech on the type of forage that they plant. And without Extension, I don't guess I would be where I'm at today either, because any questions you've got, I mean, they can pretty well give you an answer.